everyone, Adam here, So Wizard Podcast. I have another review for you today. Once again, big thank you to the people over at Amazon for sending us over screeners for all of their new series. This was one that I was pretty excited to get. Comedy drama show created by Stephen Merchant, Amazon Prime original, obviously, if they're sending us the screeners. And it was pretty good. I didn't go back and watch my review from last year. I wanted to kind of get my bearings, but with some time in between, I kind of had different feelings about what the show was. So Outlaws follows a group of people, all different backgrounds in this kind of thing, the ensemble cast, where they have to do community service for various smaller petty offenses. And in community service, they get involved in some really big serious stuff that brings them into crime. And it is done with a comedy angle, but it's not as much of a comedy as I expected it to be, given that it's created by Stephen Merchant. I was hoping for more of the comedy side, which did leave me feeling a little bit like the series didn't know what it wanted to be in the first season. And I still have a little bit of those feelings going into season 2, but less so. I think now that I know what the show is, not my assumptions of the show, I was able to, I don't want to say take it in easier, because it's an easy watch. It's not like it's overbearing or painful. It's well done for what it is. I just had preconceived notions expecting it to be something that it's not. And that's not the show's fault, that's my fault. So going into season 2, I was a bit more on board with it not being an out-and-out comedy, and they go a lot heavier on the crime side of things in this season. Because they're going heavier on the crime side of things this season, there are some aspects of it that seem to have heightened the comedy. Stephen Merchant's getting more screen time this season than last, which I love. Christopher Walken, you could kind of forget he's in the show for large parts of this season. I get he's a big legendary actor, he probably has other things going on, he's an older guy, so maybe he's not working like he used to, but you signed on to do a series, so maybe put the big name in the series. Rian Barreto, hoping I'm getting her name right, and Gamba Cole do a really good job playing off of each other, and Ronnie, her character, probably has the most growth out of any of them, and that, being that it's the most obvious growth, I'm finding it the most interesting. Stephen Merchant's character, Gregory, also has quite a bit of growth in different ways, and he's also interesting, but he's when I'm glued to the screen because he does do that awkward and always hilarious thing that I look for in a Stephen Merchant project, which makes sense given that he's Stephen Merchant. It feels like a few of the other characters, they don't really know how to progress them, and it's starting, they're kind of learning to be less zealous or more open-minded given on who they are. So it's very much a natural progression. This is season 2. It is a direct continuation of season 1. You can start on season 2 if you didn't watch season 1, and you'll catch up. But given that these are 6-episode seasons, I would say just start at the beginning. Get into the show. Just know you're not watching an out-and-out comedy. It's kind of a drama with some lighthearted moments more than it's a comedy dealing with some drama elements. This feels so much like a continuation that it's hard for me to even go into like the look and feel and things of the show because they're already established in the first season, and the second season is not changing that formula. Why would you? It is a direct continuation, and it almost plays out as if it's one season they just cut into 2 parts and one 12-episode season, which for this show works. You don't need a big time jump. It actually wouldn't make any sense because all of the pieces they had laying around scattered, they have to put together for the second season. And as things go, you can just feel this impending sense of dread developing for some of the characters, but some of my more liked characters, that the things going on are going to catch up with them. Talking about the sense of dread coming into the show did impress me, because I put the show on and I watched 2 or 3 episodes and I was going to do the review, but I wanted to keep watching. I felt compelled to, which I'm happy to say, because this is one that I said, oh, cool, I enjoyed that show, but it was kind of like going to that same restaurant you've been going to for 10 years and ordering the same thing off the menu. It's not going to blow your socks off, but it's there, it's reliable, and you're going to enjoy it. That's kind of how I felt about Outlaws. It's kind of a safe watch where it's not going to blow your mind. It's not really going to do anything you didn't see coming, but you're along for the ride and you feel like you're in capable, competent hands. It's well shot. It's well acted. Even a lot of the scenes that take place at night, they're not so dreary and dulled down. but they're also not so vibrant and everything that it doesn't look like it's night. It's very competently made. The people behind the show obviously know how to make a show. They know how to pace a show. They know how to craft a show. They know when to end episodes. All of that stuff, all the technical aspects of the show are right on. Now that I think of it, I can't really speak to the score or soundtrack too much because I can't think of what the score or soundtrack was. There's a scene or two in a nightclub, and it feels like a nightclub, but a TV nightclub. I don't know, I'm not that musically inclined of a person, so maybe that's just me, or maybe the score is just doing its job, undermarking things without standing out. But given the energy of the show and the younger cast for the most part, they could probably kick that up a couple notches and really bring you into scenes and get that music thing, evoking the emotions out of you. Outlaw Season 2 debuts today, August 5th, on Amazon Prime. I actually haven't checked to see if it's all one drop or episodic. I watched these as screeners where I got the whole season up front. If it is if it is a drop all at once, I would recommend parsing them out. It is good kind of comfort food level watching where you can just do all 6 straight together, but I think you'll get more out of it and you'll appreciate it a little bit more if you do them in 1s and 2s with a couple days in between. Plus, it makes 6 episodes stretch longer than a 6-hour block. That's going to do it for today's review. Please remember to like and subscribe, hit the bell, hit the notifications, leave comments, leave reviews if you can. Anything you can do to help us boost the signal of the show, get more eyes on, get more ears listening. We really appreciate anything you can do, and we have a lot more of these Amazon screeners, as I just mentioned, movie reviews, comic reviews, interviews, screeners, all this awesome stuff coming your way. You're not going to want to miss out. Like, subscribe, bell, all the good stuff. Also, make sure you listen to So Wizard Podcast every single week wherever you get your podcasts. SoWizardPodcast.com is your resource for reviews, recommendations, videos, merchandise, and more. So Wizard Podcast can also be found on Patreon, where for as little as $1 a month, you get multiple monthly bonus shows. We love hearing feedback, so drop us a note in the comments, leave us something on social media. All that can be found after the show and in the show notes. And on a more personal note, a really good friend and I have an ongoing comedy comic series. It's called Social Studies. Slice of life comic, kind of coming of age story, follows a group of friends through their high school experience, all the insanity that goes along with it. It's done in the style of the 90s cartoons that we grew up on and inspired us, meant a lot to us. We wanted to pay that forward, keep it going for a new generation, and also grab people our age to bring them back with that nice hit of nostalgia to just do something fun and engaging. The crazier the world goes. Nice escapism. We got 9 issues available now. 10 and 11 coming any day. 12 and 13 in the works. 14 in the works. Tons of stories coming your way. Find that at socialstudiescomic.com and on Comixology, including Comixology Unlimited. Thanks.